Hello my friends and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm of course Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions, where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today I got two more minis for the Marvel Comics related game, Marvel Crisis Protocol. And today we are doing Namor and Black Panther. And for those of you who do follow the game, you know that this is the second iteration of the Black Panther. At least I think so. I mean, I know they're doing a Rivals panel one. I don't know if it's out yet. So yeah, I guess this is the second one. So first thing, of course, is to prime all this. So first thing I got to do is, well, actually, first thing I got to do, because it has been stormy outside, so I got to check to see if I could actually do this outside, and then we'll prime it. So if I come back and I'm outside, it was okay to prime. Okay to do it on camera, and if I come back and I'm still here, and I I had to do it off camera. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and yes, it is very gusty outside, so I didn't want to have that primer blowing back in my face, so I decided to do it off camera. All right, but right now everything is primed, and I like watching primer dry, right? So it's all dry, and let's get to it. I'm gonna start with some base coats. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna go with Namor first because this will be the first time ever that I need to use the flesh color over most of the actual piece. Well, I shouldn't say most, but over a good portion of it. Alright. Let's put the Black Panther over there for now. Okay. Yeah, we have to get it from the actual jar because the flesh color was always a bit thin. Okay. So I'll get this on, and yeah, for those of you, of course, who follow Marvel Comics, you know that Prince Namor the Submariner pretty much was always like this. Always, with showing a lot of skin, ready to jump in the water. There we go, get a little bit more of the color on. But try not to put too much that it just starts looking like it's bubbling up. So one thing I've noticed sometimes with these paints is they're quite a bit thin, and I am unfortunately not very skilled in correcting that. Alright, I'm trying not to get this color on the shorts, because being that I've never used this paint in this type of capacity, I don't know how painting over it is going to wind up being. Alright, so get this color on, and I guess I'm going to have to let it dry because all of this is going to have to be like a bluish color, because it's going to be like water waves and that, Alright, get a little bit more on there, make it stand out a bit more. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to have to go back and do any touch-ups. We shall see. Alright, so I'll just put this aside for now. Excuse me. And we'll bring out Black Panther, and of course, most of him is going to be colored black. Get a better brush than what I just grabbed. Yeah, that one looks good. Okay. Yeah. So I did put this out as a short just a little while ago, but I'm going to be putting together some putting like stringing together some of these painting videos as a series, because it's going to be, like very much related to each other. One of them will involve BattleTech, because for one, put too much, I guess. For one particular faction, one of the houses, as they call them, Catalyst Labs started putting out specific lance packs for them. So I was able to acquire some, along with some of the other types of mini packs that are basically just, well, one was support vehicles, the other one is the battle armor, which is the infantry. So I'm going to have that all put together as a series. Couple in regards to the game I have on the second Alien movie, and one of them will be the actual aliens. Alright. Oops. Can't kind of refrain from putting too much, because then it drips off and it looks terrible when it does that. And one thing I am starting to realize is I am running low on the black paint. So if I haven't bought one already, I'm going to have to go get one very soon. Because I know I also have from the same company, for their Star Wars game Shatterpoint, I have the character pack that involves Darth Vader. So eventually I'm going to need more black paint, especially for him. Okay, this one's filling in pretty good. Okay, so pretty much after using the black paint, this is going to be just letting all this dry, so I can go and get the other areas done. It's like, I know a lot of this has got to be like the desert yellow that I have, because it's supposed to look like a beach, almost like a beach setting. And some of this also that they're on has to be painted a gray color to simulate stone. And if you do hear faint music in the background, that is once again my neighbors rocking out. Okay. Alright, probably going to have to do some touch-up, because some of this paint is not, it's like if I go over it, more than once, it's kind of like wiping away. So, gonna let that, but before I take a break, let's go back to Namor, because if I can, I'd like to get this area, and you know what, actually I think I can. Let me try and get the, it's a sky blue color, but I've noticed that it does look pretty good when I try to use it to simulate water. So let's get this. I think I'm going to have to get it from here because I'm going to need quite a bit of it. Well, you know I'm going to get a good portion of it. I'm not going to worry so much about it near the top, because that's when I would go over it with white to make it look like, you know how when a wave hits you got like the little foamy salt water look. So that's what it's going to be up near the top. Oop, I think I put too much on the brush. Yeah, so all of the stuff here, all the stuff near the top that's near him, that's basically still near, that's still wet paint. And, you know, I could leave without any issue because it's going to be painted, you know, it's going to be painted white instead of this color blue. And actually, I think that came in pretty damn nice. Yeah, actually it did. Okay, all right, let me clean my brush. Might be time to change some brushes. All right. I think I had the thing on too bright. Okay, all right, so we're gonna let that paint dry, and when we come back, I'm gonna start getting a little bit more detail. Gonna get on Namor, the you know, the trunks, the scepter that's in his hand, and it's got like wristbands that are supposed to be painted gold. So I might be I'm gonna try to get all that plus you know, the wings on his feet, the hair, and the white on top of where all the water is. So I'm gonna probably do quite a bit with Prince Namor as far as Black Panther goes. There's a little bit, you know, with the stuff that's like on around his neck, around his wrist, that look like it's supposed to be like a you know, jewelry made out of teeth. You know, that's what it basically looks like. So I'm gonna try to get that, as well as possibly you know, some parts on the base, and we'll see how far it goes. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back, and that paint is now dry, and we're gonna keep on going. See how far we get. All right, so let's get to it. Okay. So, let's start with Namor. And, alright. So he's got gold on his. Whoop. Eventually I'm going to have to get another jar of this, because this is starting to dry out a bit. But I should have enough to do what I need to do. Alright. Let's get little bits that are on already painted surfaces. Okay. And that's one little bit. Let's get this. So as usual, I go by what's on the box for these characters. The only time I really go on my own is if I absolutely know what something should look like. Alright, let's get this nice big trident of his. Okay. Okay. Gotta remember to get both sides of that, otherwise it will not look right. Okay. So basically what I was saying earlier, got a lot of things coming for the channel, got a lot of things in the works, planning. So, you know, try to keep things, you know, as fresh as I can, actually. You know, just, I know that eventually I'm going to have Saturdays where I'm not going to be able to do this because I got, something that I need to get done in the personal life. But for right now, I've been pretty diligent with my self-imposed excuse me, rule of trying to do 2 videos a week. Alright, now, only thing left for the gold is the belt. And one thing I do wonder is if they'll ever try to release a version of Namor that's part of the X-Men, being that he was briefly part of them, because it was determined that he was a mutant. Okay. Alright, that's it for the gold paint. So yeah, I am wondering about that, and they do seem to be doing a lot of X-Men related characters, both heroes and villains. Alright, that over there. And let's take out the green and get those trunks. Alright, let's get it. I may have to do a little bit of touch up with the flesh color, but otherwise this is all going on pretty nicely. Okay. Okay. And a little bit of a funny story for today. As I was priming these, I realized, because I had just had enough. I just had enough primer to basically do these 2, and then that's it. So I'm glad I didn't choose something that was bigger to do, because it probably would not have worked out well. Alright, so let's keep the focus on Namor. Let's get black out for his hair. Actually, I'm going to use that same brush. Alright. Okay. Feeling nicely. Alright, getting... There we go. Just about done with this. Okay. Alright. Keep that out in case I need to do touch up on Black Panther. Okay, now for the white paint, which is pretty much going to be needed for both. Yeah, I'm going to have to start changing some of these brushes. Alright, so there we go. Alright, yeah, this is going to hopefully look like the saltwater effect. I think actually I'm doing a pretty decent job on this. Alright. Try not to pat myself on the back too much. But I do acknowledge when I'm doing something and it looks good. And as always, I think talking about acknowledging, I see that the last cooking video I did, as always, is getting a lot of the attention. I do implore anybody who's looking at those to please look at videos like this more often, because I do have a lot of these painting videos out, and I do plan on still doing a lot more of them. Alright, let's do a little bit there. Actually, that's good. Clean this brush, but I need a smaller one for the other things I need to do. Alright, let's look for a good one. Yeah, this will do. Alright, now, gotta get those little wings on his feet. Alright, that's one of the wings. One of the wing sets, I should say. And there's the other. Okay. Alright, not bad. Not bad at all. And now let's get to Black Panther, because we are... Actually, I gotta wipe more of that paint off. Are progressing pretty good. To get to the end of this. Alright. Okay. Alright. Just take a look at the box for something. Ah. Alright. Alright, so I'm definitely going to have to do some touch up on the black with the Black Panther, which I'm going to do right now. Oops. Alright. Found quite a few spots. It looks like I missed, but it's hard to reach areas. Alright. And of course, when you do the touch-ups on these, it's easier once everything is dried, because once it's dry and you're going over it, you're not wiping off what you did before. because that does get frustrating when you're trying to touch something up and all you're doing is wiping off the paint that you already had on it. Alright, that's good for that. Now let's see if I have to do touch up with the flesh tone. Probably, yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do that, because I'm pretty confident that I do have to do that. So let me, see if what did I use before? I think this is what I used before. Okay. So getting close to finishing both of these. Alright, getting very close to finishing both of these. Okay. Alright. Let's get this close to that line there. Yeah, it's much better. Okay. Alright, so basically what's left for both of these is going to be everything on the base. So we're going to just clean the brush again. Alright, so we're going to let that paint dry, and when we come back, going to finish up by doing the base and the wash, and then it's all finished. Alright, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, and the paint is now dry, and also changed the battery, because I noticed it was running low. Don't want to have that happen again, right? So, basically, like what's left is the base, but it might take a little bit longer than I thought it would. So, but let's just get to it. Alright? Okay, let's get this pointed down. There we go. Let's start with Namor, and I gotta get like a. Well, I took out neutral gray because I thought it had the best look for it. And look at this brush, yeah. All right. All right. So yeah. Yeah, so after I do the, well, this one, the base is kind of sort of simple. I mean, they do have some things on here that, I don't know, I could, I guess, paint on or something. Like they have like an outline of a starfish and all that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, though. Definitely would need to take more than just one break in between before I'm totally finished. Let's turn that. Okay, that's the thing about some of this is that whereas most of it may look like it's dry, and you touch one little part of it that isn't all that dry, and then you got to worry about it, especially when you got to hold it like this. Got to worry about it, the paint that is, coming off onto your fingers, and then having to do touch-ups. Alright, but so yeah, I mean it's pretty much just the one little thing that, so I'm probably just going to let it go. And I'm going to have to touch up his hair because I pretty much put some of it, or a good portion of it, onto my fingers. Or finger. But I can do that right away. Alright. So it's a good thing I didn't put any of the jars of paint away. Alright. Oh, that could have been bad. Which is usually what happens when I try to do things too quickly. Alright. Yeah, didn't take long to touch that up, thankfully. Now, let's move on to Black Panther. Now this one is going to be a little bit more involved because I got to do the two bits that he's standing on in, I'm going to do it in a darker gray, but the rest of it's got to be in the desert yellow, because I mean the way they show it on the box, it makes it look like it's like part of like a beach setting. So alright, let's just get this done. I may have to wait for this to dry before I do that other little tidbit. So this way I don't, mess it all up. Alright. Okay. I think I better get from here. Alright. Well, before releasing this video, I'll be releasing episode 2 of my story, Shadow Man. So do please check that out. I was actually thinking about trying to get like a AI voice thing going, but one, I don't really know. Well, okay, I don't know how most people do that. I was actually looking to do it was my Microsoft Word program does have a readback option, but when I was reading it back, I was not satisfied with the tone the voice would take with the story. It just didn't seem appropriate. So I decided to abandon that idea. Okay. Alright. Okay, just about done. Yeah, but I am gonna have to let this dry. Yeah, definitely gonna have to let this dry. Alright, so I'm gonna have to let this dry so this way I can get the rest of it in like I said, in that desert yellow. And this will be green. This will be easy, but I'm not gonna do it now until I've done the desert yellow. And then after that, it's basically letting stuff dry and then doing the wash. Alright, so let's clean that. Oops. Let's close this up without spilling anything. Alright, so it's going to take a little bit longer than I thought, so we're going to let that dry. When we come back, I'll finish the base on Black Panther, and then I have to take another break while that dries, and then come back and do the wash, and it's all finished, right? So stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that paint is now dry. We're going to finish up the base for Black Panther. Alright, so let's get to it, right? Okay. I guess if I ever get to have merchandise, I'm going to have that saying on a t-shirt, I suppose. Alright. Yeah, just get it right from here. Right from, yeah, the sauce. Okay, so I will say this, as compared to the original Black Panther piece that they came out with, this one looks a lot cooler. Yeah, I guess as they went forward with all of this stuff and started doing started doing everything more elaborate, I guess they figured, oh, let's revisit some of the original stuff we put out and make it cooler. Okay. Just had to concentrate just a wee bit on that so that I didn't mess it up. Okay. Now, so like I said, once I'm done with this, gotta let it dry again. I'm gonna get that little plant because I don't want to. I don't want to come back and do that and then have to break again. You know. That seems kind of pointless. All right. Let's get out. Let's just get a better, smaller brush than that. All right, this is a good one. Okay. Now, this is supposed to have 2 of these on here, but the other one broke. And these are way too small for me to effectively put them back together and make them look good. It would have actually looked terrible. So I just said the heck with it. And also, the way it was supposed to attach to the base was not very good to begin with. At least in my opinion. And that's why sometimes I wish, you know, the game developers would, you know, maybe put out a little questionnaire to the people who do, you know, indulge in their products, so that they can actually realize that a lot of us are adults with fat fingers. Alright. Okay, so the base for the Black Panther is now finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that dry. And let me put this away. I'll put it on the side at least for now. Put it away later. Alright, so we're going to let that dry and we'll come back and do the wash and it's all finished. Alright, so stay tuned and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and all we got left for both of these is the wash, so let's get to it. Alright, just about done. Since we made Namor wait, we'll get to him first. Alright. I think I went a little too heavy on it with Namor. I'm going to try to just keep on using what's on him to get the rest of him, rather than dip it again into the well here. But unfortunately, this does happen from time to time where I do have, you know, too much of the wash on the piece. But it's actually moving around a lot better than I thought it would, which is good. Okay. Let's get down here, the water on the base. Okay, just about finished with getting Namor ready. Okay, unfortunately though, well, maybe not unfortunately, but one of the things that usually happens when I do the wash is I get little bits of it, you know, flung into the darndest of places, usually on my fingers. Alright, now obviously with Black Panther, it's not going to really show up too much on it. I'm going to put it on it anyway because it does have little bits that can have some of the wash show up on. Also with this nice little panther beside him, but it's mostly going to be for the base, which I'm getting right now. So the little bits on the base that the wash can sink into. Like an English muffin, all the nooks and crannies, right? Actually, some of this paint was not dry. I wish I had kept that napkin. Gotta wipe it off this because I do not want this brush compromised. Okay. Alright, that's pretty much it. So, let's get it ready. Yeah. Here we go. Black Panther and Namor of Atlantis. Ready to play. Ready to be out there. Alright, so that's all I got for today. Please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. Also go to Tabletop Jones Productions and please like and do the same there. Like, subscribe, and share. Try to share these videos as much as possible. I am currently at 31 subscribers. I'd like to make it up to 35. I'm trying to keep my goals more reasonable. At Tabletop Jones Productions, we're currently at 29 subscribers. Again, I'd like to bring it up to 35. So just please enjoy these videos. If you do enjoy them, just please share them. If you know anybody who would enjoy them, please share it with them. And you could also reach us on you could also see us on social media. I'll be posting every now and again on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find it either as Tabletop Jones Productions, or you can find it as me or John. Either one of us. All right. So again, that's all I got for today. I hope you had a good time watching. You have a great day, and I will see you again. Take care.